Yo, Deanne, what do you want me to do with these once I get the lids off?
See those other lines? You can put 2 in each. That right from the center. The dead tones that are lined. You can empty 2 in each one. No, they're not hot. Huh?
We're gonna hold right through before you can move.
What?
Trying to create something.
Apple crisp. Just salt and cinnamon and butter and flour and oatmeal.
That one fits there.
There's a couple here on the table.
I'm all there.
Hot here. There's one and I'm standing around the
I'm gonna get you.
Jack had me teach choir. We make yours.
Somebody do something there? Come here, I'll fix it for you.
Yeah, I know I do.
Mom,
come on, really.
don't embarrass me, please. Clyde, slap her. Karen, slap her. Won't be the first time.
No, it's just somebody put it on the back, I think.
Clyde, yeah.
Did he?
Robert.
Drink it too. They're making fun of me.
That one's crushed down there.
I had the second.
What time is there?
Fred, how many kids do you have?
1, 2. I had 2 girls.
2 girls?
2 girls.
How many
And
grandkids?
I have 3 granddaughters.
3 granddaughters.
No grandsons. No.
You never figured out what boys were
Can't
made
figure
of. Huh?
out what happened there, but that's the way it was.
How about you, Larry?
That's 3.
3 what?
3 children.
Well, I know you got a
What are they?
good-looking son, but I've never, you know, like, fantastic. I only met 2 of them, haven't I, for a while?
I lost one.
That's right.
I lost Freddie.
And how many grandkids?
2.
2?
Yeah, they're 9 and 6 now.
Mine are all old now. Mine are 40 years old, and I have a 40-year-old daughter.
The girls. Are they all?
They're in single file.
Get over here.
We're gonna do this in single file.
You are?
Smile, you're on camera.
Get over by your grandmother. Yeah, come on.
Joe, do you want to introduce everybody here?
Well,
Let's start over here with next to Madge. And
Okay, she's the MC of the group, aren't you, dear?
gotta talk about.
is she the talker?
You introduce the rest of us and talk. Okay, I'm
Who are you?
Okay, I'm Diana. I'm the oldest. I'm 16.
You're 16?
Yeah. And then this
Never
is,
been kissed, right?
this is my grandma. And this is my little sister Melissa, and she's 8. And this is my mom Adley. And my dad Joe. And my little sister Lene, that's 14. Andrew, that's 12, and my Aunt Pat.
And your Aunt Pat, and she told me she wasn't going to talk on here. Will we tickle her until she does?
Come on,
I
Pat.
think we ought
It's all right,
to.
Say
love.
something.
What would you like me to say?
That's fine.
that much. That's fine. You got you anyway.
And you folks live in Roosevelt,
We're in
right?
Roosevelt, yes.
Do you call it Roosevelt or Roosevelt?
Roosevelt.
All right, that's good.
I live in Roosevelt.
The Pat doesn't.
Pat lives in Orem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, I have 2 kids. I have a granddaughter.
2 and a granddaughter. What were you, a child bride?
She's coming. Yeah, she's coming.
Joe was in a great mission.
Yeah, I was in the Thailand Southeast Asia mission.
It used to be a part of a greater mission, the Southern Far East, but
Right.
they just decided it was too much glory for one place.
We knew the mission president, Elder Gardner, from Hong Kong.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the one that established our mission.
Thank you. We appreciate you coming.
Okay,
Somebody has to speak out.
this is Hilma's clan. We have here me, the oldest here, and
Definitely the oldest.
very much so, and my wife Diana, and this is my son Kevin and Doug, and this is Deanne. She's the
outlaw.
baby of the family. Look at the dimples, isn't that cute?
Yeah, look at that.
And she
You
can
can't
introduce
hardly-
her group.
Okay, this is my husband Jack.
That's me.
This is my son Darren, and my daughter Jacqueline, and my son Devin, and these 2 are twins.
Now, what year is this?
This is 1991.
All right. How many more
It's
children do you
right here
have?
on the film.
Oh, how many more children do you have, Dan?
I have 2 other sons that aren't here today with us because they're pukes.
I have 2 sons that are in that category too.
And you have a brother that's in that.
Oh, hey, I got a brother and 7 kids, or 8?
And,
8 kids.
and they're all on
and
our
they're all
black
in
list.
that. The wife's the only one that isn't.
And he's the biggest puke of all.
We don't know his name.
And when he sees this, he
That's right.
knows we're really upset at him.
Right.
Right?
We are really happy.
None of us are going to go to his wedding.
You're a
That's
jerk.
right.
We're all going to boycott.
That's right.
Boycott him.
Devin's
But what's his name?
Deb. Coming to
Hey,
me.
and he's
David Grohl.
David. David Crow, that's it.
Colonel Grove.
Colonel Crow. Stuff like that. That's it.
That's it.
Push the button.
Theo.
Okay, Isla, this is Isla's clan that's here right now. Isla, do you want to do the introductions? Tell us who you are.
You don't know who I am, he'll tell you.
Okay, Phil. I know, Phil, you get to fly for free when you come, don't you?
Get out of here and tell them who you are. Why? I think you just Renan, tell them who you are.
Where's
This
Now,
is my
Leon?
daughter, Nicole, soon to be Nicole Sollenbach. I'm
Nicole
Leon.
what?
Nicole Sollenbach.
Sullenbach.
Yeah.
And you picked that yourself, huh?
Yeah, she did that. And this,
Now, how many others do you have?
I have 4.
4.
Not 4 others, I have 4 altogether.
4 altogether.
I have 2 boys and 2 girls. And I have 4 grandchildren.
Who's the oldest?
Tamara's the oldest. And she lives by Magic Mountain.
Oh.
And she's a registered nurse.
She married?
Yes. She has 4 children.
4 children. I guess that is married, isn't
That,
it?
that helps. And she has 3 boys and a little girl.
So you're a great
And this
grandmother.
is my baby brother, who I tried to cut his hands off once.
Realistic
show them
response.
what finger I cut off, Phil.
Phil, and how many kids do you have?
I have 4. Do you have a zoom on that?
No, put your pictures away, Philip.
Here we are. See, there's Catherine. She's 14. And there's Philip. He's 12. And there's Amy. She's 5. And Ethan, he's 3. And that's Regina. She's my wife. Did you get it?
I think so.
All right. They're not here.
There we go. Yeah, hey, you know, that might show up if I get a big screen TV.
Oh, well, enough.
Wait, I didn't finish, Phil.
Oh, go ahead.
What have you got to say? I mean, you've never been able to keep your mouth shut.
You're gonna be
you
sorry.
sound just like Deanne.
If I tell all those stories I know about you, you're gonna
Uh-oh.
be really
This
sorry.
time, I remember I got the push button here.
But I have 2 boys also. I have Tamara and Nicole, and I have 1 boy who's in Hungary on a mission right now.
Hungry.
And I have.
Isn't that great that they can be there?
Yeah, I guess so.
You know, hey, just think 10 years ago that wouldn't have happened.
Oh no, it's really
2
exciting.
years ago that wouldn't have happened hardly.
No, he's in a city now that's never ever had missionaries before. It's a brand new city, so it's exciting. And then I have an older boy, Jeffrey, who's at the airport now picking up one of Bonnie's kids. And we have an older sister. Phil and I have an older sister. It's her older daughter. She has a lot
Are
of
you
kids.
talking about the ancient of ancients now?
We're getting close to the ancient of ancients. Anyway, we have a sister named Bonnie Kay. And she has 5 children. 6 children.
She's sending one on a mission, isn't it? Or
Yes, Bryce is leaving for Ecuador this week, or going into the training center.
It's her baby.
Yes,
well, thank you
and
very
this
much.
is Isla.
And that's Isla. I've never heard of Isla. She got grandma's eyes.
Okay,
Thank you.
Now I'm going to look for
Clyde.
Okay. Okay.
Standing next to 2 skinny people.
Yeah,
Chad.
Hey, now I'm getting your best side, Connie.
Are you doing it already?
Oh,
Yeah,
of
you got-
course. Now
He did,
this
he got
this
it
is
when-
Karen's plan. Now Karen is the next to the youngest of the group of daughters.
You can never tell.
You'd never tell. And Karen, can you do the honors of introducing everybody here? Can you tell us who's who, or do you want Marty to do it, since Marty's the know-it-all?
Come on, Squeaky, talk.
Okay.
Marty's the biggest.
Marty can do it.
Okay, as patriarch of this clan, this is my little brother Marky.
No.
This,
Oh.
Oh, that was a low blow.
this is his beautiful daughter Melanie. This is my beautiful mother Karen. And Billy and Bobby, handsome as they are. These are Mark's boys. And this is Grandpa Bingham.
He's a Bob
the
Hope
owner of
lookalike
this
here,
all,
huh,
and
with
this
his
is
knees?
my beautiful wife, Linda.
Well, who's this on the end?
Oh,
Now, Connie,
short one is Connie.
Connie, how
The
many?
little,
How
the
many
cute
you
little
have?
one.
You've got 3 kids,
Uh-huh.
and all graduated from
almost.
college.
6 kids now.
6.
With their mates.
With their mates. Okay.
And my family couldn't be here, and I wish they were. Darn it.
And Mark, you have the 3, huh?
4.
4?
One of his isn't here.
One of mine is David.
And how old's David?
He's 18 in October.
Wow. Hey, that's older than my oldest,
This is Billy, Bobby.
Bobby. And
Billy. Melanie, 19, and this month.
and Martin, you have
I have 3.
3.
None of them are here.
Where are they?
One's in Finland and 2 are at Lake Powell.
And you shipped them off and made sure that they were gone so
Yeah,
they couldn't be insulted here, huh?
And they're little
You know how to protect them.
You bet.
Borrow the hat. What do you want? Clyde's hat. We're gonna have to get in closer together, guys. I think.
That's impossible.
That's right.
We're too big.
I've got too much right here that I'm leaning against.
All right, you guys. I think we're leaving somewhere.
Now, don't murk me.
Okay, we better, don't we have to have
Marty.
introductions here?
Or are you supposed to? Somebody's supposed to talk.
Is somebody?
Somebody is. Somebody is
who's the
talking
patriarch?
over there.
Hey, Fred,
Somebody knows people better than I do.
go ahead, Fred.
No,
Just
you go ahead,
introduce
Ted. You
yourself.
probably-
Ted's not here.
Well, all right. then.
Introduce yourself,
All right.
Fred.
You know us all. We've already been here before. We've got Fred, and Larry, Mark, Chuck, Marty, and Phil, and Joe,
Joe, yeah.
and Hector. Is Hector down here?
No,
he's gone. Okay.
And that's it.
That's all of it.
That's
Cut. Push the green red button.
So who's the oldest?
Hey, who is the oldest?
Who's the oldest?
What's your birthday?
I hate you, Connie.
Wait a minute, how old are you? What's your birthday?
Well, who's the old one on the end?
What year? Now let's talk about decades.
This is the way it goes.
Is this by age?
Yes, that's what they said. Smart Alex. I'm the youngest in this group. This is Renan. And Connie.
This is the matriarch of the
Who
group.
are you?
I'm Pat. And I'm Deanne. And I'm the baby again.
She always has been a baby.
Hey, I'm in between to the oldest.
That's the first, isn't it?
Yes.
These guys were a lot older than I was.
Which one of you had the pet name Dino?
Dino?
The dinosaur?
Dino, she is so old. She was a crossing guard for the 3 wise men.
I was a crossing guard, not for the 3 wise men.
She probably was the crossing guard when you were a little girl, right?
Yeah, well, you were
We
too.
were too.
We went to the same school, remember?
Mom, all these
Thank you.
Magis.
I'm the oldest. I
Nobody would believe it.
Well, we're the
I'm the
most of this today.
I'll talk.
All right.
Well, you know I always talk.
Karen will talk. Karen will always talk.
I
Was
always talk.
Deanne related to you? I
Deanne?
mean, you know, Deanne.
Remotely.
I mean, because she never will shut up.
I know it. She never does.
Okay, now, can you tell us the order of all of the kids that are missing? You know, if there was a picture of who's missing here.
Lois came first.
Huh?
Lois came first.
Well, we're talking about the whole, you know, this is the king, but it's also, you know, grandma.
Oh.
So we've got Alphys first.
Yeah, all right.
Alphys would be how old now?
Thank you, Pat. And then
How old
Lois.
would Alphys be?
He's 89.
89. Wow.
What do I
He'll be
put?
90 in February.
He's the same age as Grandma was when she died.
Well, when you're that cantankerous, you have to live a long time.
really. But then after Alphys was Lois. He was
Lois?
Dad's first daughter,
Uh-huh.
first child. And then Cleo. And then Faye. And then me. Lucille. And Isla. And Hilma. And Karen. And Leanna.
And little baby
And
Leanne.
Ross in between.
All right, now how many kids are involved here?
Pardon?
How many kids did each have?
There was 10.
No, I mean, how many grandkids?
11.
They were.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 13 and 13 and a half.
13 and a half? You mean you guys can't, you lost count?
Yes. There were 10 in Alphys.
You know, at first you guys got to choose, you didn't get to choose your own names, but the girls that came down after that started getting chosen by the family, was it?
Definitely
drawing out of a
Leanna.
hat
We
or what?
certainly all named Leanna.
I know your mother, Hilma, was sure angry with her.
Was always your match.
In grade school, I think I changed my name 5 times.
Well, you know, I had an estate that I was working on, and the lady's name was Hilma.
Oh, really?
I'd never heard it other than my mom until then.
I've heard it once before, and I still know her, and she remembers us from Salina, and she's the one that Hilma was named after. Because Dad liked her, and we used to stay at their place in Salina, and so that's who Hilma was named after.
Anyway, I asked Mother, with all the girls you had, why in the world did you and Dad give your only little boy the name of a girl? And she says, oh, but he was such a pretty little boy. That's why Faye got called Faye. He couldn't even use his initials without it being a girl. Effie, you know.
I'm just wondering how many, if we had the total, everybody here together, all the grandkids and great-grandkids. You'll introduce your fiance here.
Okay, I'm Nicole Blum, Renan Blum's daughter, and this is my fiance, Lance Sollenbach.
How you doing?
Hi.
We're going to be married next Friday,
Next Friday.
August 23rd.
That's a good time. Where at?
Salt Lake Temple.
Great. Now, where are you from?
I'm originally from Canada. I was born in Calgary, Alberta.
Calgary.
Front seat of a car, away in the hospital. And lived in the United States pretty much 14 years.
Bill had to be the one in charge.
Okay, now who have we got here?
Who have we got here?
have Chelsea.
We got Harold. Well, just a second. We got Harold over here that we
is
didn't get
Harold.
last night because he ducked out on us.
And that's Pat or Chuck. I can't remember which.
I just cut you out. You know the way to my heart. And who have we got over here?
And that's Tamara.
Hi, Tamara.
Our oldest daughter and her son Jake. And her husband Clark. And our future son-in-law Lance. And Kelsey.
He's already got a baby? No.
Yeah.
That's Tamara. And these are Tamaras.
Oh yeah, don't forget.
Come over here and get in the camera.
Come here, Brock. Come here, honey. Clark. Come here,
Show
Brock.
him your no tooth.
Come here,
Clark.
honey.
Yeah.
Look at this boy.
Hey, he's big.
He's a nice boy. His name's
Do you
Brock.
smile?
Can you smile, Brock?
Do I come over and tickle you, or do you smile without it?
Peek around the corner, Clark. There you go.
Hi, Clark. I got you.
My little twin.
Well, that's that. Huh?
Where do you folks live?
Well, some in L.A. and we live in San Francisco.
L.A. I got to get more of these people.
How you doing? I waste your film.
We live in San Dimas.
Oh, have you been to the water slide?
Hi, Bonnie Kay. Bonnie Kay, who's that you got in your lap?
Okay, this is Stephanie, Stacy's little girl, after 4 boys. This is Eric. Eric Lambert.
And you got how many grandkids? 13.
And then this is Patrick, another Pat. They know who it's going to
Hey, what is that? Is that the curse of the family?
Yours came from down
We love that.
And we got somebody that wants to show her best side here.
Stacy.
Is she gonna? Hi.
Hi.
Who's your oldest, buddy?
Joe. And he's down the street.
Not the guy for giving us such a bad deal here. Really giving him what for. We got bumped 3 times.
I know.
When my mother passed away, and I was taking care of her mobile home that she had,
You're almost as stupid.
Hey, shut up.
I don't know how I managed to get this cute little tin box. Because my brother Ted, who was also there, got everything else he could get his hands on. And I got looking through this tin box one day, and I found these wonderful little letters that were from our grandpa Leland to grandmother while he was on the sheep herd. I have 2 letters is all. And I want to read you these letters because they are so absolutely wonderful. You're going to I don't know, they're really cute to me. The way he writes, and you have to almost see the spelling on some of the words to really appreciate it too. This one is dated June 24th, 1910, and he was in Sweetwater.
Where was Sweetwater?
I have no idea.
Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Do you think?
That was a big spot.
Okay, it says, Dearest Wife, Annie. Well, I've got a chance to write, R-I-T-E, so thought I would drop you a few lines. We are about halfway to Boulder now. So it wasn't in Wyoming.
That's not on the...
I expect to get on Boulder by the first of July, so I can come home for the 4th. We are having quite a time with the sheep there. There are 4 herds, H-E-A-R-D-S, of us. There are 4 herds of us. We are all in a bunch. We have a hard time to keep them separate, but we haven't had any mix-ups yet, but we have lost some sheep with poison. I tell you, I will be, B-E-E, glad when I get home. I am getting awful tired of trailing these little lambs. I've never seen rocks so thick and had such sore feet in my life. Well, Rob Payton, I guess is his last name, is coming. Peden is coming with his horse, so I will have to hurry up. He will get to Torrey tomorrow, and Torrey is just outside of Teesville. He will get to Torrey tomorrow, and if he posts this, you will get it tomorrow. I wish I was coming home instead of Rob. But I guess he is harder up than I am. He is probably as hired hand as best. But not anymore homesick. But you know, it wouldn't do me any good to come home. But I would like to see you and the kids awful well, anyhow.
Is there a date on that?
Anyhow.
I already said this was June 24th, 1910.
June 24th?
Yeah.
1910.
1910. Who was born in 1910?
Nobody.
You weren't even gleaming
Who was born 9 months after that?
1910.
In 19 and 10, let's see that.
Who was that? No, Mom was 1906, 1908, 1910 happens to be about the 3rd or 4th one.
No, I was born 13, so
it's got to be
close
close
to
to
that.
Faye. It would have been okay.
He only got one boy out of the whole deal, and he had to stay away that long.
Anyway, if you see Edmund, tell him I will come over the Oak Creek Trail on the 27th if I don't have any bad luck. Well, I guess I will have to quit, for Rob is in a hurry. With love to all, I am as ever your loving husband, Leland King. XO, XO, XO. Honey. What kills me is it's my dearest Annie King. I mean, do we not know who he's writing to, you know? And I'm your loving husband, you remember Leland King. Okay, there's a P.S. I guess you didn't expect me to write, R-I-T-E, at all. You didn't send any writing material, so I have to bum what I get.
He was lonesome, wasn't he?
He was one lonesome.
Yeah, those sheep are very lonesome.
He was really lonesome.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. This one is dated.
It's awfully bad there.
And if you guys want to look at this, the penmanship is wonderful. I mean,
Beautiful handwriting.
It is. I love. Okay, this one is the Henry Mountains, June 3rd, 1910. So this is before that one, actually.
And that was before Faye was
Okay. Dearest wife, Annie. I will write, R-I-T-E, you a few lines to let you know that I am still alive and haven't forgotten you yet.
So far,
But
you're all
soon,
right.
but soon.
Thank goodness.
Whether, W-E-A-T-H-E-R, whether you get it or not, I will just be, B-E-E, a chance if you get this letter. I've been trying. I've been trying for the last month to get a chance to send a letter to you, but haven't seen anyone going near a post office. So I know you will be real blue.
Oh.
But it hasn't my fault. But it haven't my fault. I went down where the wagon was to come today and found my stuff peeled off and the wagon's gone back home. So I didn't get to see them at all. I didn't know just when the wagons would be here, so I just had to guess when to go and meet it. This part I would love to know, there's a little mystery behind this letter. And I've speculated as what's gone on here. Yeah. I got your letter and was glad to hear from you at last, but sorry to know that you was feeling so poorly.
Any other way she was pregnant.
All
That's
the
what we
time,
surmised
all
also.
the time. I hope you won't always feel that way. I feel just as bad about it as you do. Especially, listen, here comes the mystery. Here it comes. Especially when it was my fault. But
I think much mystery in that.
but you want to make the best of it and live in hopes of better days. Was that not wonderful? I love that.
That's wonderful letters.
I haven't seen anything of Emery yet. He said he would be here before the wagon did, but I haven't seen him yet. Ray Turner is going back to his camp on the other side of the mountain. Maybe he will get a chance to send this letter. I hope so. Anyway, well, Annie, I will have to quit writing, for this time Ray is waiting to go back to his camp, and it is a long ways, and maybe you won't get this anyway.
If you get it, write a blue line.
We are about done lambing. I will come home if I can, possibly get away before we start up with the sheep. Love to all. I am as ever your loving husband, Leland King, XO.
How did you get a hold of these if you were the last one there?
My mother.
It didn't look like it was worth anything, so my brother didn't take it.
They were in this.
Your mother was a thief.
My mother was a thief.
Don't say that.
She stole all the
No way.
I don't know. My mother got them from Grandma when Grandma passed away, and she and Karen cleaned it
I
up.
don't care. She was entitled.
That's right. And so.
Well, I
we
wasn't,
got.
you know. I'm always the dumb shit.
Speak for yourself, John Alden. Okay,
you were the
also.
youngest one. Next to the youngest.
Speaking of sheep.
You're the cleaning lady. What the heck else are you good for? Really?
Another thing I have, and I can't tell you about these, you just have to look at them, but it's Grandpa's his figurines is to, like, at bill time, and they probably have just sold the sheep, and he's figuring how much Emery gets, how much Lawrence gets, how much me, and it's just wonderful to see for the company stock.
Why don't you get a copy of all that?
Well, I copied off some of it, but I was at work, and I didn't want to pay for all that. So I did make off, but it's really cute because, you know, old ones were less than the new ones, and it's really cute to see.
Yeah, he has old ewes and old
ewes and new ewes, and then he says we'll take 5,000 for the land, and then the permit cost him 1,600. And it's just great to see all these. And this amazes me. It looks just like it was made yesterday. I mean, it has really been. I don't know what Grandma did with it. So, okay. even do it. I told him. That's right. So anyway.
I did too. Don't you say that?
Do you know what? In the jockey box of the trunk is what Madge wrote. I put it in there last night in our truck. So anyway, I wrote to Leanna because I knew Leanna hurried to write this as fast as she could while her arm was still, must have been early in the morning while it still didn't hurt too bad. So this is from Leanna. And she writes, Dear Deanne, here goes nothing. And you asked for it. One day, when Karen and Hilma were young and I was even younger, they decided to put me in a little red wagon and take me down to Grandma King's place. We got over to the corner by Frank and Marshall Forsyth. Started down the lane, and coming towards us was some cows. Guess what they did? They ran off and left me sitting in the middle of the road in the wagon.
Everybody for themselves.
She said, I guess I cried so hard it chased the cows away. Anyway, they didn't get me. That's the only time I can remember going any place with them alone.
Oh, I have another story.
But I'm sure there are other times. I can see Karen saying they didn't do it that way.
Let me get the camera on the other side.
But for Lois and the boys coming out to visit when we lived in Teesdale. The boys decided they wanted to ride horses, so Lois took them up to Aunt Cora's place where the horses were. As they were putting the saddle on, one kind of burped. Fred said he wasn't going to ride. He said the horse growled at him. Anyway, that's what Lois, or Leanna. That's what Leanna said.
Big growl, quite a growl.
So I thought that was really cute. Do you want to read yours? Oh, I'm just doing a great job. Dr. Oakley! Personal joke. Okay. This is
Take
from...
your shoes off.
Mine. I should have written mine and she could read it.
No, I'm not. This is the last one, and then I'm turning the time over to Karen.
Oh, no.
Oh, Karen. Oh, Karen.
The girls have to each tell a
She
story.
didn't talk last night, so she's going to talk tonight.
Okay. This is from Aunt Madge. My father, Leland King, was a very special, loving father. I have always been sorry that my younger sisters didn't have the opportunity that we older girls had of knowing him and having such fun with him. He was such a big tease and had such a sense of humor. He was either teasing us girls or Mother all the time. Mother told me that the first years of her marriage to him, she was in tears. Mother came from a very serious and religious home when there was very little of that kind of thing going on. In spite of the teasing and humor, he was a serious and disciplinarian man. When he said no, we children all knew that he meant what he said, therefore we never asked a second time, just like my kids. He only spake to me once, and you would have thought that I had been killed. This day, Dad and one of his sheep herders were sitting at the table settling the men's wages. Faye and I had decided to play tag, but when Dad asked us to go some other place to play, we went on running around the table. Dad got up and spanked both of us, and we were surprised and heartbroken. I was in my first year of high school. Mother and Dad went to Richfield with some friends and left me in charge of my little sisters. I had fallen deeply in love with a senior, the most wonderful boy in the world. I was afraid he would leave the area and I wouldn't get to see him before he left. I decided that I must go to Loa to get a look at him before he left, even though I had never driven a car before in my life. I've not read this before, so this is really good. I loaded all the kids in the car and off we went. This was after I finally got out of the garage and the gate.
Which car was that? The Packard? The big yellow Packard.
I went back and forth in the garage several times to get out, but finally made it. Then I had to get out of the gate. There was a big tree by the gate, which I ran into a time or two, but got by it At last. Then I was on my way. I remember I couldn't get my hand around the steering wheel, the car being a big blue Packard, and for that time it was...
No,
this is the blue one.
This is the blue one.
And for that time it was the car of the day. Well, off we went, zigzagging all over the road. I was going about as fast as the car at that time would take me, which was about 35 or 40 miles an hour. Going up Loa Lane, I was really speeding. I looked all over Loa but could not find my love, so decided to go home. And with someone looking out for me, I got everyone home safely. When Mother and Dad came home, I didn't say anything to him, but as Dad always did, he went to the garage and saw the scratch on the car, blue paint on the tree, then came to me and was sure he would get me good. All he said to me was, "Midget," that's what he called Madge, was midget. "Midget, if you're going to drive the car, you'd better let me teach you how to at least get out of the garage." The tree is not supposed to be blue. I didn't know at the time that when he stopped in Bicknell, he was told of my driving and how fast I was going. I think I've been there before. He then told me that he would pick me up after school the next day to show me how to drive. I was so excited because I knew all the kids at school would see me. When he came for me, I was walking on air. I went around the car and got behind the wheel, and even though I didn't start off very well, at least the kids saw me. When Dad was home, he was devoted most of the time to us kids. I remember one time he and I read a novel together, and there was very sad places in the book. Of course, I was very tender-hearted and loved to cry. Well, I would cry for a time, and then he would say, "You cry and I'll read." He would put in words that were not in the book and make it sadder than it really was.
Now's the time you have the book upside down.
I would cry, and he would be laughing his head off. Dad was a large man like some of his grandsons and was very hardworking, but also a very loving and caring man. I remember at the time my little brother Ross was sick before he died. Mother and Dad sat by his bedside and had to see him go through this. I saw Dad leave the room, tears in his eyes, and he fainted twice that I saw. Lois was going at this time with a local boy. I heard Dad tell Mother that he didn't worry when Lois went with Vern, because she was just as safe as if she went in God's best pocket. Vern Snow. This was because Vern was from a strict religious family. Clea was dating a boy from Loa, and whenever he would come to pick her up, Dad always managed to open the door and start asking him questions. Wouldn't that be awful?
Especially him.
No. This was because the poor boy would stutter when he got excited or afraid. So he had a hard time when Dad talked to him. How awful.
You're dead. Mom used to tell us all about that. I'd sit there and roar.
Okay, now we're going to turn the time over to Karen.
Karen, you get to talk.
Such a brat of his dad.
Good job, Deanne. Hey. Very good. Sorry about it.
No, Max, shut up this time. Don't interrupt her.
Like you did last night.
Oh, yes.
Okay, first of all, everybody here knows my kids, I hope. Connie, Martin, Linda, Mark, you all know them. I'm sorry. I was 5 years old when our dad died, so I don't remember these things that Madge wrote in that. So I can only remember a few things about my childhood. And one was when we were kids, Hilma and I, our big excitement was for Fay, our brother Fay, and his friend George to take us to Richfield. Big deal, go to Richfield for the day. And he had to go do shopping, go to bank, things for Mother. And he would put us in the car. We stayed in the car all day. Every few minutes, Faye and George would bring us candy, soda pop, bananas, which is a real treat for us. So, Hilma and I did that lots. That was our big thrill. And then finally Mother let us take Leanna with us. Leanna was probably 3 years old by then. And we went to Richfield. And as usual, it was soda pop, candy, bananas. Ann, shut up. And, well, we would not leave that car because Bay took us. And he said, okay, girls, I'll be back in a few minutes. I'll be back. So anyway, little Leanna, she was a baby. She had to go to the bathroom. Here we were sitting in the back seat of that car all afternoon. Little Leanna had to go to the bathroom.
Which car was that then?
Mother's old car. So Hilma, she was always the smart one. She came up with the idea, well, we'll let Leanna go to the bathroom in this empty pop bottle.
Boy, she's good aim.
This was no easy task.
No, it wasn't. I'll tell you, it wasn't. And she said, Karen, when she goes to the bathroom in this pop bottle, we'll open the door and dump it out the door. So we did. Anyway, you can imagine what happened. A few minutes later, Faye came back, and he brought us more goodies, you know, and he, right away, he knew what happened, you know, in the back seat of the car. So he says, oh, girls, I am so sorry. I should have explained this to you. He says, remember, girls, I always park you under this tree, and remember, see this building over here and that big sign up there? The sign said restroom.
Oh. We're all too little to read.
But we were too frightened to get out.
They were in the big city.
And then
Fine, big brother.
one time he took us over to Richfield, just Hilma and I. He took us to Richfield, and it was a few weeks before Christmas. And so, after he got through with his business, he took us into the stores because they had all the toys and everything out for Christmas. Well, Hilma and I fell in love with these two dolls. Mine was a little baby doll. I'll never forget it. Hilma, she chose one that was all dressed up in fancy dress. And we just fell in love with those dolls. And lo and behold, on Christmas morning, under the Christmas tree, there was those two dolls. And Hilma and I could not understand how Santa Claus knew which dolls we loved so well.
Santa does it again.
And then also I remember when I wasn't really old enough to remember it. Isla, I was not old enough to remember it, but you and Lucille used to go up on the Big Mill River Bridge, you know, up there, and dive off into the river.
Water.
In the dark.
Oh, no! In the dark.
They were the big heroes. They were really heroes.
What did you wear, Isla?
Some just our bloomers.
Now we know where we get our adventures.
Hey, I told her she can't interrupt you. Don't ask her any questions.
I had a whole bunch of things to talk about, but these two have been talking to me.
And got her all confused.
We didn't say a word.
You guys have heard about the dumb blonde jokes going around?
Bryce, did you pass those out?
Nothing over Karen, honestly.
Do you have them?
I did that already. Where were you?
You didn't tell them about the rest of the beach and then
Oh, I didn't. That was your story.
Is Isla going to say anything?
I hope so. I forgot.
Well, sit down and, you know, as soon as you sit down, you'll remember.
He'll tell me all these things.
I told all.
about 10 minutes.
Okay,
I can't remember.
Go ahead, Isla.
We'll remember in the okay.
We have 5 minutes, Chuck.
5 or 10 minutes.
We have about 5 or 10 minutes
Oh,
on the
I
video.
know.
On the video.
My story.
See, I told you she remembered.
It's about Madge.
What's your story then?
When Madge was young, she was always fainting.
Oh, yes.
Always fainting. It wasn't a bit unusual for me to come home from school and find Madge head hanging out of the kitchen door. She'd faint. Whoever came in the house first, they'd just drag her to the kitchen door and lean her head out. She was always fainting. So anyway, one time our haystack caught on fire. And there was the house, a gate, the granary, and the haystack. Well, everybody in town came with buckets set on fire. And Madge, well, Mother was hysterical. And she was running back and forth with water buckets to put out the hay fire. Every time she'd go to walk through that gate, there was the Madge fainted on the ground.
One.
You're on.
Go for it, Mom.
Okay. Our dad never, ever reprimanded us. I mean, he would, when he said something, we didn't do it. But it was like, he never told us to do anything. We had to do anything. When he'd be home from the herd on a Sunday, we just all knew, we were all smart enough. If every one of us got up and got ready for church, when we came home, Dad would have a big party planned for us. We'd go to Fish Lake, or if nothing else, up to Ikey Wax's and get ice cream cones. Every time. But if just one of us stayed home or even had to be reminded it was church, nobody did anything. Boy, we learned. We went to church when Dad was home, and we loved it. But anyways, when it was actually the summer that he died, one day, Lucille and I wanted to go up to Bignell Bottoms to swim. And that was kind of dangerous because it's a big river and Bignell Bottoms is deep. And we got up on the bridge railing and dive off and we didn't know for nothing. And he told us, no, you cannot go. And then he went on about his business. Normally that would have stopped us. But it didn't this day. We went anyway. And we walked all the way up there and all the way back. When we came back, he didn't say one word to us. He didn't say even boo. You'd have thought, but he didn't talk to us either. We felt so guilty. He couldn't have spanked us and hurt us as bad as he did. And he never said a word. And right to this day, that's the most guilty feeling I have. I didn't mind my dad, and I think it's the only time I didn't mind my dad.
She was naughty.
Okay, Meg, your turn. Oh, no, I got to say one more.
Oh, I told you. As soon as you sit down, you remember.
Hurry,
Okay.
I've got another one.
Well, this is just off the beaten track, but I want it said right now. We want for everyone to know our real thanks to Jack and Deanne, Marty and Linda for the work they put into this.
Oh, yeah.
You beat her to it.
I know it. I got to get a Bernie to beat her. I know it, because I know what you were going to say.
When it was really funny when Isla and Hilma and I were living in Salt Lake, and we were all young then, and we used to go. Remember that time we went to A&W?
Yeah, in our Model A
in your
Ford.
Model A. And we drove up in there and we ordered a root beer, A&W root beer, and this poor guy that came out to serve us, he just blinked his eyes, remember?
Yeah.
He says, "Is this for real or am I seeing double?" He thought he didn't know if it was one or three, because we all looked alike. And then there was one time, I won't tell this.
Boy, you get her started. Bobby didn't let her do it last night.
One time,
say she's making up for lost time. She was mad because we wouldn't let her talk like
one time, Isla and Hilma and I went into this place. Anyway, we ordered a root beer. And this guy that was serving us, he looked at us and he says, "You're all beautiful girls, but one of you has bedroom eyes." And to this day, we don't know which one has
But we all feel good about it.
Hilma used to say, "Well, it's you or Isla." And Isla and I used to say, "Well, it's Hilma." One of us had bedroom.
But that was a real nice compliment because it didn't make any of us feel bad.
What a diplomat, huh?
Okay, Maggie, now it's your turn.
What did
I read the paper. I mean, Bonnie read the paper I wrote.
Bonnie did.
I mean, that was yeah, I never did that. Yeah. I wish that
You're mad.
I too have guilty conscience because I was the oldest girl at home when Dad died. And I should have had sense enough to take better care of my little sisters.
You sure should have.
Look what happened to them. If I'd have been sharp enough to take care of them.
We wouldn't be this.
Well, we didn't turn out so bad.
Shame on you, Nad.
What you're talking. Madge can't talk anymore. She's 7 dollars.
The address on the back.
I can't believe that she didn't take that.
Well, I can. She didn't like us. And I should have.
She was too busy.
I know that
The
my
guy
brother
in
Faye felt very bad about the same thing. Because we were the oldest.
Lost it too.
We were the oldest ones. We should have.
What my favorite story that Mother used to tell, and Karen never says she can remember this, is how they used to stay awake at night and they would count the people in the town.
Oh, yeah.
But there was some guy that was half-witted.
Amos.
Amos, and he was only a half, and there was 129 in Amos or something. I mean, it was whatever the count was. That was my favorite story. And Amos, poor Amos.
We used to sit up there and we'd count, oh, she's wearing an apron, so she's pregnant now.
That was entertaining.
That was fun. So, that was cute.
But the one thing I do want you to know about your grandfather, and my father, is that he was a tender-hearted, wonderful, sensitive
So
man.
was your mother.
Yes. Oh, well,
A
I
lot
know
of
that
the
we're
kids
talking
can
about
remember
the kids
mother,
all know
though.
Mother. They know what she was.
But they don't know.
But they don't know Dad. He was so sensitive and caring. And you know, we never had ways of entertaining ourselves. We had to make the fun to entertain ourselves. There was no TV, no nothing like that. And Mother had a baby every 2 years, and so when the 2 years was up, that child got down and lived for itself, and then Dad took over the next one, and Mother had the baby. And I can remember year after year, they would play